Alright guys, I'm back live again. Something went wrong before, so let's try it again. Alright, so everyone welcome to my part 7 of Fusion Sketch Live. This one we did a little bit just a while ago. And we're going to go in and start doing the shading and the highlights and probably the texture if we can by this episode. If not, we'll add another one. I'm hoping to get everything done with one more live or two more lives. So what we did different now is, if you look at my screen, is that I have added different. Oh, you guys probably can't see it. Let me move this. So you guys probably can't see this, but over here I have the colors all in one folder now, and I also have a shadow one now. So what I do, my shadow is super simple. I create a shadow channel, make it like a 50% opacity, change my color to a black color, and then make the brush big like that. See how it adds like a little shadow, and I can set the thing to multiply, so it multiplies on top of the colors I have. And then this is where I go and do my sketches. So first let's go in and we start adding shadows. My shadows are fairly easy to do. Oh, I see a lot of these white lines I don't like, so I'm gonna erase them. Not white lines, just colors that's coming out of the. See, this is what takes me so long to draw one thing. When I see these things, which probably for other people it's not a big deal, but for me, I hate it. Anyways, come back to the shadows. Oh no. Yeah, shadows, where are you? Right, come here. Alright, so I'm gonna do shadows now. I have to think about where my lighting's gonna come from. I'm thinking my lighting will be hitting from the front left. So like front left hitting him. So this side of the face should be fairly bright, but this side will be dark. These fingers will be bright, but the gaps in between here, maybe down here, will be dark, and back here it should be dark. There's always a bit of rim. That's kind of what I'm thinking, but let's see if I can get it to work the way I want it to do. Too big. The brush is too big. Alright, so here we go. So again, let's do this the way I do it. Let's go in and shading in the shadows now. As you can see, once I start putting the colors in, I'm thinking about how the fingers will move and how the fingers will, you know, how the creases will look. So something like that, maybe like that, come down to here, and then here maybe a little bit of shadow, just a little bit, not a lot of it, coming down like that. Alright. Really hope I can finish that soon, because I'm getting tired of this picture. I don't want to move on to do some other pictures, but like I said last episode, if you have any ideas of what kind of fusion sketch you want me to draw, you let me know. And I think I did not even finish my story of how I created my third character, which is the one with Spider-Man. So yeah, I'll continue that story again this time in this episode. My third character I've done is with Spider-Man in mind, because the Spider-Man cartoon, or probably Spider-Man the movie, came out. I thought it would be cool to do a Spider-Man one, and the concept behind it was, what if it wasn't Spider-Man? What if it wasn't? Well, that doesn't make sense. What if? Sorry, doing this sometimes I need to think. Is the light gonna be like that? I feel like no. Maybe just a little bit. So yeah, so I was thinking of, like, you know, in Japan there's a famous character called Kamen Rider, which is a guy who is like, his power comes from like a grasshopper, I think. So I was like, ooh, it's so similar to Spider-Man, where Spider-Man got bitten by a spider. Kamen Rider gets his power from a grasshopper. So I'm thinking like, ooh, let's do a Spider-Man version of Kamen Rider. So he's actually Kamen Rider, but instead, actually not really Kamen Rider. It's like, what if Kamen Rider was Spider-Man? So the idea was, the guy got bitten by a radioactive grasshopper and gets the power of a radioactive grass, like a powers of the grasshopper, which is like you get to make loud noises and you can jump super high. You're super strong, like legs for days, kind of thing. And that was my idea for the grasshopper man. That's a very simple concept. There wasn't really much to it. That was pretty much all I had in my mind. And then that was the fastest piece of artwork I did. Probably did it in like a few hours. There was some tricky parts to it, like getting the Kamen Rider symbol, like the grasshopper symbol, onto Spider-Man's like outfit, and trying to get how to draw a spider, like a grasshopper, like the Spider-Man logo, but also make it still look cool. And then also color scheme. I played around with like 3 different color schemes. I kind of, because Kamen Rider had tons of different looks. If you look at the Kamen Rider series, there's like a ton of different outfits that he wear, or different versions of him. So I was trying like, ooh, what can I do to make it look good, you know? So that is how I came up with the fourth character. I shouldn't have said third, it was fourth. And then the 5th character. Now this is which also took me a long time to draw the 5th character, because that was a moment that the movie It came out, and that was something that was super awesome. I love the whole concept of it. It was okay. Some people didn't like it, but I thought it was creepy. It wasn't scary. It wasn't really scary. More like a sci-fi film to me than a scary one. But I love the whole the actor did a great job acting it. I think the whole movie was pretty interesting concept. And yeah, so I wanted to do the It character, but at the same time, I didn't want to do it the way. I didn't want to just draw it. Like I said, I'm a fusion guy. I like fusion art. So I went with doing another demon clown, and the name is the Violator. And because I already did Spawn character in the past, I was like, I need to do the Violator, and the Violator is also a demon clown, and just like It is a demon clown. Well, actually, after I looked at I looked at some online reviews right now, so I found out that It was actually not really a demon clown. So you guys might yell at me for saying that, but you know, when I watched the movie, I thought it was a demon clown. Okay, guys, it doesn't really matter what you guys think. I thought it was a demon clown, and I thought it was cool. But now I get it. It's like a space demon thing. I don't know. Anyway, so I wanted to do It, and I wanted to combine it with Violator, the other demon clown from Spawn. So my concept of that one was, Spawn has become less popular and less popular. Violator's character is not as popular as other comic characters because of the comic movies, and then also like people don't really know who the Violator is. Only the diehard fans kind of know who Violator is. Well, not even the diehard fans, just people who actually read the Spawn series know who Violator is. So I was like, you know what? I want to do Violator in a way like, what if he was in hell and he was like watching the whole things happening on Earth, and he's like, hey man, clowns are in, demon clowns are in right now, like it's popular and everyone loves demon clowns now. Then he decides to dress up like, It, and then walk around and say, hey, so this is what I have to do now to become popular, this is it. So it's like a little joke kind of thing, and it turned out pretty cool. A lot of things to draw, especially how the problem I had to come up with, the solution I had to come up with was that the Violator clown had a very unique marking on the face, like clown markings, and also It had a very unique markings on the face. So how do I do it in a way where I can get both of them to match up and also look good? So that was a little tricky thing I had to do. Another thing that was tricky about the It and Violator combination fusion sketch was that It outfit has so many frills. Like all that outfit is just like lines after lines and lines. So when I was drawing the It outfit for Violator, I had to do a ton of little like folds and stuff, and the shading of that. Oh my gosh! So glad that Midoriya doesn't wear like a bunch of like frilled clothing as a Superman outfit. I mean superhero outfit, because that was insane. It took forever to draw. I hated it. I hated to draw it, but I loved the way it looks at the end. I don't like the way that looks there. I think it's too much. Something like that. All right. Yep. As you can see now I'm starting to get into shading. You can see how it look without the shading, kind of flat. With the shading, sorry, I burped. It looks so much better. And then I'm gonna add some like shines and shins to metal, stuff like that later on. So everything will look cool. Yeah. So that was how I come up with a Violator one. You know what? I'm gonna do something kind of tricky. Well, not tricky, just something kind of useful. Is that, you remember how I told you guys that we can select? Wait. So you know I can select the different colors and stuff like that. I kind of want to do a mask for the entire thing. This way I don't cannot mask everything. Dang it! This is gonna take a while. So guys, bear with me while I do this. Shift. Why is it not doing what I wanted to do? Shift click. Oh, okay. So what I want to do right now, what I'm doing right now is I'm clicking everything, because I want to select everything, and then this way, when I do the shadows, I can have a mask, and it will mask up everything. Okay, probably the lines are outlined there. So now I have everything selected. I don't think there's anything that's not selected, right? I'm gonna come to the shadow one, and I'm gonna give it a mask like that. There we go. Now if I do any shadows and I go out of the lines like that, you see, it won't show up, but it will be there, which is kind of annoying, but whatever, no one's gonna see it. Just gonna do it this way. It's a lot faster. Nice. Remember to add shadows into the parts that needs to be added. I think this is probably gonna have a little bit of shadow, but not a lot. There's a fold there. Okay, and then this is gonna be shadow down here because it's his thing coming out. Nice, looking good. Some shadows here. Cool. Okay, now I got some shadows going. Looking good. Alright, now let's talk about, I want to switch to that spot. I don't want to do that spot anymore. So let's go to his face. And hair. Frick, his hair's going to be such a pain to do. You know what? I'm going to be smart about it. I'm just going to make the hair with no shadows. I'm going to make the hair a lot darker here. The reason for that darker, because when I do the highlights, it will light up. I'll show you guys that later, but right now I don't want to deal with the hair. Let's go shadow. Let's do the face. Okay. What happened to here? Who drew this? No, who drew this? Get that out of here, man. That looks ugly. Why is it not clean? See, this is what I'm saying, man. I take a long time to draw because I cannot stand me not drawing these properly. Alright. Shadow. Alright. After the... What was after the clown one? Is that it? Was that all my artwork? And that was it. And then now to this one. Actually, there is other there was other artwork that I've done in between those ones, but they were not fusion related. Those were all fusion related ones. I actually have another series called the X series, and what the X series is, I haven't really shown any because the one X series that I did was such a massive artwork that I could not finish it, and then I could never post it because I couldn't finish it. But it was one of the most intense sketch I have ever done, and I'll tell you why in a second. But the whole reason of it, man, pretty much this whole neck is covered in shadow because of. I'm gonna give it a bit more. Just gonna do that more like that. The whole reason why it was so hard to do was because I did it in I tried a new style of drawing. I drew it in 360 degrees, which is, you know, those cameras that make those cool photos that you can like rotate and look at every angle from every. So I did that. I drew that, and then I couldn't color it because it was so difficult, because the way that the thing is bent, like the way the lines are all bent after it's drawn, coloring was kind of became like a problem. But I still want to finish it. Definitely want to finish it, but I just couldn't do it for now because it was too hard. And I'll tell you what it is. The theme was X series. So the X series is where I take two cool concept or two characters, two whatever, and put them against each other, like an X, like they're fighting each other. You know, like cross something cross something. And that was the concept. So if you guys have any cross ideas, you can tell me that too. But I had a cool cross idea, which was Monster Hunter cross. Monster Hunter cross Godzilla. Yeah, that was my concept because Godzilla came out. I was like, ooh, Godzilla came out. He's such a cool monster. But at the same time, I love Monster Hunter games. They're the coolest game I ever played. And then I came up with the concept of like, what if the Monster Hunter people meet the next legendary monster, and it was Godzilla, and they had to try to kill him? That would have been a super difficult thing to do because Godzilla's so huge, and everybody loves it. I mean, everyone wants his radioactive weapons made, you know. So, got some message on my phone. I'm gonna have to read in a second, but I'll get to that in a second. Here we go. I'm drawing that part. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so that's how I do shading. You see how the cool thing and how simple it is? All you have to do is use one color, and you draw in one color, and you draw on everything. That's the way I draw. Super simple. Okay, someone's messaging me. Okay, so yeah, let's continue. Damn it, who's messaging me? It's annoying. Oh my gosh. Too much messages. I'm too popular, guys. No, I'm not. Okay. Brush. Oh, come on. Please just let me draw in peace. I want to get as much done as I can today. Because if you look at my playlist of this, I started drawing this, I think, in like December of last year, and that was like May of this year, like 2020 May. I left this here for like pretty much how many months? Oh my gosh, I had so much work to do for my work, and then finally I had a little break time right now, and I wanted to draw it, so decided to do a little bit of this today. Hope that looks okay. Nose. add this in there, but I don't want to make it look too much and becomes like a Hitler mustache, but whatever. Alright, let's do the sides. Let's do the sides of the face. Don't get into the hair because the hair is dark enough to be shadows. Just have to add highlights later. See, like I said, once I add the shadows in, the entire face shrink down a little bit because it looks like his face is smaller. Exactly. So don't have to worry that his face looks big. Eyes also here. I'm gonna do that. Do this. And then also, I'm not saying I'm the expert in drawing. All my shading could be wrong. It could probably doesn't follow. What do you call it? Follow what a real lighting source would be like, because I don't really have reference and I haven't done enough drawings. So please don't get on my back about that. I just want it to look good. Doesn't really matter if it's real or not. This is the great thing about art. It's fantasy. Who cares about reality? The same thing if you guys are drawing as well. I don't like to put pressure on people to make them like say that, oh, your drawing is not accurate, the head is too big, or the proportion is not right. All those artists out there who yell at other people for drawing it wrong. Oh, come on, man, guys. There's no point. There's really no point to do that because it's really down to the feeling. Do you like it? Do you like drawing it? Was it fun? Did you learn new techniques? Do you think you can do it faster next time? What were the challenges you had when you were drawing? Like I was just mentioning all my challenges about my other drawings I was doing. This is probably gonna have some challenges too. And I think the challenge about this one was, what was it? What would be the challenge for this one? That I couldn't get over my wall to draw it, and I took so long to draw it. Is that my thing? Man, it's looking sweet with these eyes coming in, some shadows. Just remember that there's some shadows coming in from the eyebrows and stuff. I'm doing this like freestyle, as in I'm not really looking at any reference photo, but if you guys are doing something like this, it will always be good to kind of have like a reference photo on the side so you can have a look at how the shading is done for the other things that's been done already, because it will look probably much better. But right now I'm just trying to get this done, so I'm going fast as I can. I'm trying to draw this. Dang it. Again, my phone is vibrating. Like I said, I'm popular. Okay. Now I got that done. I'm going to do kind of the side nose here. Also, I'm using 50% shading, but it doesn't have to be. The reason I like to do it this way is because once I've done the outline, like once I have the shadows drawn in, right? Once I have the shadows drawn in, I can kind of go back and change how much I want it to show. So like right now, like it's 50%, so it's a bit harsh. So I can probably go to 30%. 30% might be a little bit better, but then it could be too light, right? If it's too light, then obviously you can go like 40%. We'll just tweak a little bit, until you find the magic number. Okay, who is texting me right now? Come on, this is not cool. Right. Oh wait, maybe this is important. Maybe I should look at this. Alright, I got... Sorry guys, I have to sort this out. Alright. Woo, look at this Midoriya. Handsome. Grown up. Still has freckles. Because once you have freckles, you always have freckles. It's not like you're gonna grow up and have no freckles. So, sorry about that, Midoriya. But that's what makes you cute. And also, my shading style is a little bit more American style, comic book style shading than actual Japanese style shading. So, that's my style. I used to draw a lot of anime when I was younger. When I was younger, I never heard about Marvel comics. I never heard about all these other cool Iron Man or. But I mean, when I moved to New Zealand, which is where I lived most of my life, I started reading about the Marvel characters and DC characters, and I fell in love and then Spawn and all this cool European style comics. I'm like, whoa, they look so cool, and I really love it. The muscles are huge, and then I began to draw more of that style instead of this style, which is it still look good. I mean, the Japanese style is still great, but I feel like it's a bit too simple. I guess, like I don't know, it's like very like big eyes and I don't know. But I have to say, I love the fact that when I was watching this show, My Hero Academia, that it's not a series about heroes, right? And there's so many anime or movies about heroes now. But what I love about the whole concept was my Heroes Academia is that they do not come up with stupid moves like, oh, my superhero, he has the power of flight. How does he get it? He's an alien, so he can fly. Sorry, guys, it's a reference to what do you call it, Superman. I'm just saying, he can fly because he's a Superman. He's an alien. No, but instead, she can fly because she can change the gravity of her surrounding her, so she can float. See, that's just much more interesting and more creative than just saying, yeah, he can fly because he has because the alien race can fly, or other ways like, oh, he has super strength because yeah, he's the gravity, like I don't know, because he's a superhero and he's stronger on this planet. He's an alien. He's strong on this planet, so his powers. See, all that stuff is just, you know, or like the other one. Oh, he's fast because he got the power of speed. But then in the Midoriya, like in the My Hero Academia, it's like he has power, speed because he has engines in his leg. He has engines in his leg, right? Yeah. So that's why I love the idea. Japanese people are very, very clever, and they think a lot, and they come up with these cool and unique designs of stuff that foreigners, not foreigners, just like, you know, Westerners, when they design their heroes and design their powers, they don't really they don't come up with a unique. Because I guess to them, maybe it looks stupid. Maybe the idea of like engines in the legs, that's ugly. Why would it look? Why would it look that way, right? They might think it's stupid and ugly. But to me, I always thought that the Japanese coming up with those concepts was super, super unique. Even One Punch Man. Okay, One Punch Man is also unexplained. Well, how does he get his power? But then he did explain, saying like he exercised for that much, and he gets that power because he exercised for so long. But that's just not true. I'm waiting for the real answer when he tells us that he is not human. But at the same time, I don't think that's. I think that's my prediction. Okay, if you guys are watching One Punch Man and you have your own theory about why is he so powerful, my theory is that he's probably not from Earth. He's probably some alien race or a god race that's been around forever, and he didn't know about it. And then when he was training, he somehow snapped and his powers unlocked. Something like that. That's my concept. But again, who would think to design a superhero that has no hair and then you know, make you feel very humanized? Anyways, I gotta pause for a second. I got a phone call, so I'll be right back after this. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, look at that. Look at that shading. Makes it look so much better. Look, flat, shaded, flat, shaded. Happy, intense. Happy, intense. Bring some intensity to the picture. All right, so again, continue on my ramble. I like to ramble when I'm drawing. I mean, this is my new thing now. Talking to nobody while I draw and sharing my thoughts. Yeah, so I really love the Japanese design concept of heroes because it's so unique. It is not copied. It's not like, oh, we just everyone does it, so let's just do it too. You know, you see that so often with everything, like, you know, and even if they do copy, it's like they put flaws in these characters to make them feel more human, right? More relatable. It's not like, oh, he's super powerful and he'll never lose. Okay, what exception? One Punch Man, but they make him relatable because he has no hair, and most humans, most people are like, oh man, I have no hair, and they're sad. Exactly like how One Punch Man feels when he talks about his hair. His weakness is that he has no hair right now. Well, it's not really a weakness, but to him, he might feel it's a weakness, you know. So that's what I love about Japanese heroes. Now, if you look talking about the other Marvel, it's not saying that they don't have weaknesses. Many superheroes in the Marvel universe have weaknesses. Actually, you know what? After I thought about the lighting. This part should all be dark. My bad, guys. Probably up to like around here, and this should probably come down to like around here. Actually, more would be better, I think. More. Yeah, so they do have weaknesses, but the weakness all comes from like, you know, oh, family ruined because death in the family, or someone killed the family members or whatever. It's always something to do with that. It's not like things that other people might have problems with, right? Like, you know, was a kid that gets bullied and was never popular in school, and then like finds a way to redeem himself and become popular, and then people start liking them. You know, like more these kind of things happen all the time in real life, and I mean, okay, maybe not redeeming themselves, but these things happen to kids, like bullies and stuff, right? Obviously, they still want to show off that they are not what they think, what other people think of them. They're not losers. They're cool, and they could be fun and interesting if people got to know them. And that is what I love about Japanese anime compared to American comics. Now, American comics, on the other hand, or European comics, on the other hand, gosh, I can't speak right now. Other hand is that they have pretty cool major storylines. Japanese ones, they know how to drag a story on forever, and never give you a closure. Now, American comics and the European comics, they are long, but they do kind of have multiple arcs and like kind of like give new problems and new villains and new problems. But somehow, Japanese comics always just kind of like have one big problem that they have to face, and it takes pretty much an entire series for it to end. All right, I might have to cut this episode short because my wife is actually coming home soon, and I gotta go and help out. So, guys, I hope you enjoy my rant and enjoy me drawing while I'm talking casually about random stuff, and no one gets offended by what I say. This is all my opinions. You can have your own opinions. That's the cool thing about being who we are and being individuals. So please don't get offended by what I say. And if you do have something to say, remember to leave a message in the comment, even if it's bad. Even if you want to say something bad about me, leave a comment below. I don't really care, because that's me. And I hope you guys enjoy this episode. Shadows is what's up right now. And after the shadows will be highlights, and after that will be textures, and then final tweaking about of the colors, and this piece of artwork will be done. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. I enjoyed this live session. It does really make me focus. Usually I draw without any talking, and I just draw by myself. But having to be able to talk to you guys or talk to maybe some people in the future, if you're watching this in the future and not watching it live, I hope that I inspired you in a way to draw more. And yeah, if you do have any comments or any suggestions or any questions you want to ask me about anything, leave a message. And don't forget to press that subscribe button and like. And I'll see you guys next time. And this is it. Have a look at the final piece. Looking good. Shadows, no shadows. Shadows, no shadows. Shadows. I love it. Alright. Thank you. And have a good day. Goodbye. Goodbye.